What's up, Vankah?
Hello, Vankahs.
How is everybody doing?
How are you doing? Do you have your hopes, your dreams? 2025 is coming up. People have so many things that they're hoping for, dreaming for, and predicting, dude. That's what we're here to do today.
Yeah, predictions from all the clear data we've seen so far and that we completely understand. So get you strap in.
No, dude, predictions aren't about looking at the data. Predictions are about vibes and what you're feeling in your soul and in your gut. And you know what? I'm having conflicted feelings in my gut about a couple of these things. So today, hopefully, we'll all do a therapy session of this episode of The Red Flags, brought to you by BetMGM. We will figure out what's going to happen this year, and we'll play it back in a year. Last year, I said Lando Norris is going to win 2, maybe more than 2 races, and he won 4. So, hey, how about that?
But isn't it crazy that you were like wildly hopeful that that was going to happen, and then your wish came true and you were still disappointed?
Well, because expectation, thief of joy, dude. Thief of joy.
You expected 2 to 4 wins, and then you got that.
Well,
so
then
you should have just kept your expectations.
I know, but then expectations change, dude. Expectations change, and let me tell you, my expectations are high going into this year with Lando Norris, but we're not going to start there. All right, here's how I suggested we do this. I think we should go through what we think the order of the whole league is going to be. Who's going to team? We will go teams. We'll go teammate battles, and then we'll just do wild, wild thoughts starring Rihanna. Wow, okay. Wild thoughts. When I look at Lando, all I get is wild thoughts. Wow, wow, wow. When I look at Lando, all I get is wow, bam, bam, bam. All right, let's start with this league, this series, Formula 1, Formula 1. Let's start with who's going to finish in last place.
Well, I don't think it's a bold prediction to say that we stake, right? They suck.
I mean, it looks like it's going to be stake.
Now, the only question here is the teammate battle. Who do you think? You think Bortoleto? I don't know, because I saw Hulkenberg last year. Everyone said he was so good, and then Ollie Behrman stepped in and outqualified him right away. So,
dude, this Bortoleto kid is good. He is good.
Yeah. I'm going Bortoleto. I'm going Bortoleto here.
Dude, I'm kind of feeling Bortoleto. Because here's the thing with stake. They might not get like any points next year. So there is a world where like there's just one race where a bunch of people crash and whoever's like kind of there, to clean up the pieces might get there.
Right. But I think Bortoleto might just outqualify him. He just wants it more.
I think that Bortoleto is going to have more than a few occasions where he outperforms Nico Hulkenberg, and it looks tough for him.
All right,
he might be the rookie. Okay, I'm with you, dude. Bortoleto beating Nico Hulkenberg. We're starting out hot. Nico Hulkenberg getting outperformed by the rookie. Okay. Who do we think is going to be in 9th place?
Fuck it. I'm going to put Haas here. I don't give a fuck.
Speak on it, dude.
Everyone's dancing on Guenther's grave, saying, oh my God, they finally got some leadership. I'll believe it when I fucking see it. But, it's good. This is Guenther's team. I'm sorry, but it's Guenther's team, and they're running different simulations. They're not doing pace runs. Isn't that what it's about? Pace? Oh yeah, we're not taking part in the whole going fast thing during testing. Everyone's like, no, because Ayu Komatsu looks like it's like the James Vowles effect, dude. Everyone those guys look smart. And Guenther looks stupid. So it's like they're going by vibes more than we are. I'm like, I'm sorry, who is the genius that figured out a way to get onto the grid when fucking Michael Andretti couldn't do it? So many people try, so many people fail. Guenther was the genius that put them there and was like, what if we just take Ferrari parts, current Ferrari parts, and we put them on the car, and we can make the car go for like $12.
Yeah.
That was Guenther. Okay? So put some fucking respect on his name. Okay? Everyone's like, ooh, they're going to Toyota. Oh, because Toyota's had such a fucking beautiful record in Formula One. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Okay? Give me a fucking break. All right?
Dude. And Ferrari Ferrari had these like different things that they were doing, some different Ferrari specs, and Haas said no. They said no to Ferrari. We don't want to take your new stuff. We'll stick with the old stuff. Who do you think you are, dude?
Who do you think you are?
I'm with you, dude. I think I'm not buying it. And I think people are talking about how Aston Martin's going to be bad, but I don't think that they're going to be that bad. And they have Fernando Alonso in tow. Okay, so we're picking Haas for 8th. I'll for 9th. I'll be there with you. That teammate battle. Bierman, Ocon.
All right, I'm saying what I want to happen. Now, I'm just this is my new thing here, okay, guys?
Yep.
I think Ocon is going to shred that kid. He's going to chew him up and fucking spit him out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? It's going to be a welcome to the NFL moment. I could not think of a worse teammate for Ollie Behrman to have. Dude, I sold Ocon stock for years. I'm buying the stock now. I love Ocon at Haas. It's like the bad boys finally in the fucking Raiders uniform, and it looks mwah. It looks mwah. I love it. Yeah. I'm rooting for him. I want him to shred this kid. I don't know why I want that, but I want it.
Yeah, here's what I think might happen. I think that like early on in the season, there's going to be like one qualifying and one race where Bierman like has the edge on Ocon, and then it's going to be lights out from that point on, and he's going to be a man on a mission. And here's how many crashes do the two Haas drivers get into this year?
2.
Because they're going to be around each other.
2.
They're going to be around each other.
2.
I think it's going to be like I think it's going to be at least one where they're just both fully out the race. But I think there's going to be like 3 or maybe 4 like touches. Like there's going to be 3 or 4 times where they run into each other. There's some bodywork flying around the track.
Or Ocon is like throwing him off the like he's got to take him like Piastri on Lando. Or Lando's like, I guess I'm off the track now. Great.
Yeah.
They don't crash because the other guy has some sense.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. But yeah, I'm predicting that as well. Okay, who's
I like
next?
It. Okay, 8th. Unfortunately,
it's gotta be V-Carb or
I think it's got to be V-Carb or Aston. I think it's unfortunately going to be V-Carb.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what you get when you don't promote Yuki Tsunoda. I think that's they've got some karma coming for them in that respect. And I think that Hadjar is going to be kind of just like all over the place.
I think Yuki is also going to shred.
Yuki is going to destroy this kid.
I mean, he's going to suck all the bones clean. It's going to be like
yeah.
It's going to be spotless bones.
Yeah. He's going to pull out like an entire, in a cartoon when they pull out the entire fish skeleton, just he's going to do that with Isaac Hadjar's whole body. Just
I remember I used to have a T-bone steak, and I would eat the T-bone steak, and then or like a bone from a steak, and it would still have little schmutz on it. It would, you'd really go at it, and then I'd give it to my dog.
Yeah.
And then in 20 minutes, the whole thing was like bleach white. It's like, how did you get all the little pieces off? That's what Yuki's going to do to his father.
Because Yuki's got that dog in him, dude.
That's right.
And Yuki's pissed. He's fired his manager. He's fired his representatives. I think he's got a new agent. Yeah, he's got a new agent. He's got someone new. He was like, "You fucked up this. How you fucked this up? I need better people representing me."
He's like blaming his reps. He's like, "Why didn't I get the Red Bull seat? You fired.
You're fired.
You're fired. It's like their fault.
I'm here to make deals. That's not how you do business." But did you see this? That this clip that's this viral clip where it's like from some high school movie. It's like Addison Rae and Noah Beck. Yes, I got those names right, I think. Let me know in the chat, Brian, if I got those names right. Where it's from some like terrible high school movie where like the football gets like dribbles over towards the cheerleader, and then the jock's like, "Throw me the ball, cheer," and then she goes, "Not my name, quarterback," and then she throws it. It's just Noah Beck. It's not Addison Rae. I thought that was Addison Rae. I'm just confusing my Gen Z TikTokers. Anyway, Noah Beck's the QB, and so the football goes over to the cheerleader, and then he goes, "Throw it over, cheer." And he goes, "Not my name, quarterback," and then she like throws the ball really hard at him. He did that. V-Carb did that scene with Hajar and Yuki, and Yuki played the cheerleader, and the commitment, dude, the commitment to the bit. Absolutely phenomenal. Maybe like the best like TikTok I've seen from any social media team on the up and down the F1 grid. It rivals the Fernando Alonso doing the fucking, what's the thing? When he the gritty.
The gritty.
Alonso doing the dude. It might be better than Alonso doing the gritty. It's the best piece of content that I've seen from any admin team. So applause to you, V-Carb, and applause to Yuki Tsunoda. There were the Oscars were last night. Yuki Tsunoda should have been on that stage. How dominate? Like, just what's gonna be the point spread between Yuki and Hajar?
4x.
Yeah, I think Hajar is gonna get like 5 points.
3x?
And Yuki's gonna have like 25 to 30 points.
That's right.
Gonna be a bloodbath.
That's right. Gonna be a fucking bloodbath.
How many times do they crash? They might crash a couple times this year.
Twice.
And Yuki,
2-3 times.
And it's up to Yuki to be like, I'm like, look, because Hajar is known as a hothead.
So why? Because they won't promote him? It's like he's already got a life sentence.
Right, yeah, he should maybe just
what are you going to do? Give him another life? Oh, Yuki, if you don't behave, well, what?
Well, he's got to prove himself to the rest of this grid because Red Bull got the ick. Okay.
Jenny attached a note that said Yuki's new representative has wasted no time in looking to build a relationship with Red Bull's senior advisor and driver program boss Helmut Marko. So, what was the other guy doing? I think it's, hey, Yuki, I think this time I build a relationship with him, with the guy who holds your future in his hands. Like, what?
Yeah. No, anyway. He's just not that into you, though. But that doesn't mean that you're not the prize. Yuki, you're the prize. And never forget that. Okay.
I think it's Christian that isn't into him. I think Helmut likes him. It's just vibes.
Yeah, that might be true. 7th place, we put an Aston here.
Yeah, I'll put Aston here. You know, it could be Alpine, but they got some good momentum from last year.
Yeah, they got some good momentum. I think that I take like Doohan over Stroll, and I also take obviously Colapinto, who's going to be coming in 5 races into the season, most likely also over Stroll.
Yeah, their Aston is definitely like, well, fuck it, we got Newey, just focus on next year.
Yeah. I think Aston's going to be putting truly all of their eggs into the 2026 basket. They're not worried about money. It's not like they need the constructors' money. They're good on cash.
I was staying at a hotel, and I was going back inside, and I saw these Aston Martins parked outside.
Yeah.
Like all these Aston Martin cars. I was like, there's like 5 Aston Martins parked outside this, like they all look matching. And then I saw a guy like he was talking about the Valkyrie. I was like leaning so far over my chair listening. It's like, yeah, so we're going to do the Valkyrie. I'm like, oh, that's Aston Martin. They work for Aston Martin. And the guy kept being like, Adrian, he's so this. Adrian, he's so that. And I'm like, oh, they're talking about Adrian Newey. And I was like, oh my God, this is like some kind of Aston Martin business meeting. And I'm like leaning all the way over and being like, I could join at any point.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my one Aston Martin story.
This was in LA?
No, this was in England.
Oh, yeah.
And the guy was just throwing around Adrian. Every other word was Adrian this, Adrian that. I'm like, dude, this guy's on a first name basis with Adrian. I almost said Adrian Brody. Adrian Newey.
Adrian Newey, dude. Yeah, I think they're going to be. They honestly, they might be below V-Carb. Because I think that
they only got one driver that's any.
They only got one driver, and all their eggs are going to be next year's basket. But okay, we obviously know what's going to happen here. Fernando Alonso is obviously going to beat Lance Stroll. The question is by how much? What was the point? What was the point diff in 2020?
It's like 4x. It gets up to 4x. But although if the car's not good, he stops giving a shit. So you have to kind of think about that.
Yeah, that's true. Last year, he had 70 points. Lance Stroll has had 30.
Yeah, that was only 2x. But if you go to 2023 when they were like kind of good, what was it when they were kind of good?
Let's
see. Had that good
2023.
Run.
Oh, yeah, cool. Well, that was when he was getting all those podiums.
So he had 206. He had 206. I have it here. And Stroll had 74.
74, yeah.
That was
big old.
Almost 3. That's like 3x, pretty much. Almost.
Yeah, almost 3x.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be at least 2x.
It's at least 2x. Yeah.
At least twice the amount of points as Mr. Lance Stroll. Okay. Now, this is an interesting area. Because now these next two teams are obviously, there's going to be Alpine and it's going to be Williams. Question is, there's a lot of heat coming in on Williams. You think they're going to be above Alpine?
Dude, what if Williams has been making like a rocket ship these past 3 years?
Yeah.
And Albon is just mid. No, I'm just saying, and Albon is just mid.
Oh, okay.
Like, what if Carlos Sainz just gets in the car and is like putting it in qualifying P6 all day, and Albon's right in that 11-12 spot that he's always been in heroically, because Logan Sargent's been P19, Albon's been P12, but I think Carlos Sainz could probably drag this thing into P7, P8.
Mm-hmm.
What if that's where it is? Maybe that's where the car is this whole fucking time.
Well, yeah, maybe. I'm gonna zag on them. I'm gonna say that Alex Albon is going to beat Carlos Sainz.
Dude,
that's a zag.
Are you dude? We have such little credibility as it is, and you're gonna come out with this. Give me the reasons. Give me the reasons.
Listen, I think that Albon is fucking good. I think that when we talked to Blake Break, he said that he was beating Latifi in a way that George Russell wasn't even beating Latifi. We think that George Russell is good. If it was George Russell and Carlos Sainz, I guess I still might take Carlos Sainz, but I'm not sure. I think that Albon is a big year for him. There's so much pressure on him this year, way more than there is on Carlos Sainz. Carlos Sainz is proven. And I think that Albon, this is like the year. Even as I'm saying this, my gut is like, that's so wrong. Carlos Sainz is obviously the better driver. But I want to believe that Albon is a top guy. I kind of want to believe it. So this is the year, and he's familiar with the equipment. He's been driving this car. It's a different engine. It's like this is the thing that they're saying about Lewis, right? Is that like, oh, he's got a new engine. There's so much adjustment. It's totally different driving a Mercedes engine as opposed to driving a Ferrari engine. And Albon's had 3 years with this car, with this engine, and I think that he has the advantage, and he should win.
Carlos Sainz walked right into Ferrari from McLaren, and was just like, oh, is this how you do things? Cool, I'm here. I'm going to be right with him. I mean, he like hung with Leclerc at the new team. You mean to tell me he's not going to be able to fucking march into Williams and figure it out?
I don't think
he's actually already. I'm not saying
Albon's going to beat. I'm not saying Albon's going to destroy him, but I think it's going to be close, and I'm going to take a risk and say that Alex Albon is going to win that battle.
And Sainz has already driven in the Mercedes power unit with McLaren. He already knows how to fucking do it. This is
regs, though, dude. Different regs. Different regs.
Well, it's whatever. This is.
I know it's a risky. I know it's. I'm
We're risking
out
a
on
lot.
a limb here.
You're way out on a limb. Way out on a limb. Okay. All right. We'll see.
So wait, where are we putting Williams? Are we putting them in
Let's put
sixth
him
or fifth?
Six.
Sixth with Alpine at fifth?
Nah, I would put Williams ahead of Alpine.
Okay, so Alpine, I think that's ultimately right. So Alpine will be sixth, Williams will be fifth.
Because
what about these Alpine boys?
Alpine's just going to have like too much driver chaos.
Yeah, chaos.
Williams at least has two solid, dependable people.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously, I think Doohan's going to struggle. He's in this impossible situation where I think he's going to have to do something miraculous.
Yeah, he's going to have to get like a podium in Australia.
Yeah.
I mean, he's Australian, right?
He's going to have to win
in
Australia.
I mean, he's really going to have to do something crazy.
He has to do what Colapinto did. He's got to fucking make a huge splash, and hopefully either they'll keep him or, when Hadjar shits the bed or Bortoletto shits the bed or Behrman shits, someone else has to then shit the bed, and they're like, wait a minute, what about this guy?
Mm-hmm.
That's what's going to have to happen for him to keep his seat. But when you're driving on tilt like that, like Colapinto did, Colapinto was driving on tilt.
Mm-hmm.
He won a few hands, but then he lost a few hands. Doohan's not going to have that time.
Yeah.
To get hot and then not.
Yeah, no, he's going to be out. I mean, this one's just not even really worth discussing. If and when Colapinto gets in there, do we think that the rest of this year the Colapinto hype continues, or do you think that he kind of shows what he showed towards the end of his stint there at Williams, where it kind of the cracks started to show? Do we think he's the real deal as he comes in for the rest of the season?
I see him like a Yuki Tsunoda. He needs a lot of. He's fast, but he needs
time.
A lot of, sanding down,
TLC.
Rough edges.
Yeah.
Rough edges need to be sanded down. That's what I think.
Yeah. I think if he's given the time, he might be there. But I don't think this year he might have like a couple flashes, but I think he'll be chaotic in the same way that he was towards the end of last year as well. I agree. Okay. All right. Now we're in the top four. This is where the bee is beaten, bread is buttered. Where are we putting? Who are we putting in fourth here?
Fourth is the classic Mercedes spot. That's where they live, baby. That's where they live.
I think fourth might be Red Bull.
That's impossible because Max is going to win the championship. So,
yeah, but I think it'll be close. If that happens, I'm not saying that I think that's going to happen. I think it'll be close.
All right, so we want to put Red. Why don't we compromise?
I don't know. I mean, we can differ here. We can differ. We're not a monolith.
I'll put Mercedes fourth. You could put them. You could put them wherever the fuck you want. Red Bull wherever the fuck you want. But I put Mercedes fourth last year, and that was a fucking. Where did they finish last year?
Yeah, they finished fourth. We both had we were out on a limb saying Mercedes is going to be fourth last year.
They have no incentive to really try that hard. I mean, this is like they suck at this generation of cars. They're going to try to nail their engine for next year and hope for the best. They got a young driver in Kimi Antonelli.
Yeah, he's
going
to be a wild card this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess when you think about it, is Max going to do better than George? Yes. And will Kimi do better than Liam? Probably not. Okay, fine. You're right. But I think it'll be close. I don't think this Red Bull. I think Max is going to be up there, but I don't think this Red Bull car. I think they're finishing at least third again. They're not going to be in the top two.
That's probably true. I agree with that. So let's put Mercedes fourth. I think. Dude, what if Kimi's just the truth?
See, Kimi might be the truth.
Kimi might be the truth.
Does Kimi win a race this year? I think yes.
Yes. Kimi wins a fucking. I think Kimi wins a race. I think George fucks it up. I think there's going to be one of those weird races. I think
Kimi wins 2 races this year. George Russell wins 1.
That's a wild take.
I think George might beat him. I think George might beat him in the points because I think Kimi's going to be kind of like he'll crash out a couple times.
That's George's job.
I think he's. Yeah, but George, I think George that's what Kimmy's like too. And I think George has enough kind of like years under his belt now to realize maybe I'm not going to beat this kid in raw speed. I might have to just beat this kid in like the aggregate.
Nice word. How nasty do you think that one gets? Because they're trying to replace one of them with Verstappen, and it's probably going to be George. So George is like desperate.
Yeah.
He's desperate to keep his ownership over this kid.
Yeah, he is going. They're going to crash a couple times, I think.
Yeah, he was fighting Lewis like Lewis owed him money.
Yeah.
So I don't think, and he knows that Toto's batting those eyelashes at Verstappen. So
yeah,
I think that gets pretty fucking intense.
Yeah, I could just see Kimmy being like a couple poles, just having a couple poles, coming in hot.
Yeah.
All right, I like it.
I'm going Kimmy Antonelli.
You're going Kimmy beating George in the points.
I don't think he's going to beat him because even like Verstappen, it took him a few years to.
I don't think
it took him
in the
2
points,
years to get on top of Ricardo.
Yeah. I think that I'm holding strong that he'll have more highs. Like his highs will be higher than George's highs this year.
Yeah. He'll be.
I think he'll have a couple weekends where he puts it all together. I'm saying it. He wins 2 races. George wins 1.
Okay, that's a good.
Yes.
That's good.
Okay. 3rd place. I think Red Bull. Are you with me?
Red Bull. Yeah, I'm here with you. Red Bull. I think Verstappen obviously dusts Liam, but
how bad is that though? How bad is the dusting?
I actually don't think it. No, it's gonna be 2x. It's gonna be 2x.
I think it'll probably be 2x.
What was?
But will it be like?
Can he be better than Checo? Can he do better? So let's see how Checo did last year.
What was Checo in 24?
I think it was pretty fucking ugly. 2024
was ugly.
So 2024 it was Verstappen at 437, and Checo had
152. So
if he could do 2x, that would be an improvement.
Yeah.
I think if Max has like 400 points and then Liam has 200, that's a good day at the office for Liam.
Yeah, that's a good year.
They're happy with that.
Yeah, I'm putting it. I think does Liam win a race in 24?
I don't think the Red Bull is going to be good enough. Like I do think he wins. I think he wins one if the Red Bull is like number 1 and he gets 1 or 2. But I don't think the Red Bull is going to be good enough.
Yeah.
If they're the third best car,
if the Red Bull's only good on a couple, however many weekends of the year, is Max really not going to be the one who's going to win that race? Especially because they've established that it's going to be like number 1, number 2 driver. Here's what I think he does, though. I think he wins a sprint.
That's fair. That's a good call.
I'll give Liam a sprint. I think he's going to win a sprint race.
Now the question is how often can he get to the same Q3? How often can he get to Q3 with Max is the real question.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be hard this year because there's 4 teams that are going to be with it every week. So that's 8 drivers. And then on the weekends...
so he should be in Q3 every week, though.
Well,
Max will be in Q3 every week.
They should be in Q3 every week, but then you also have like the Alpines, the Williams, maybe a Nico Hülkenberg, special, a Gabriel. No, Hülkenberg will be. They'll be so bad this year. But maybe a Haas, maybe an Ocon has a couple Q3s. So then all of a sudden you're like, there'll be some people from those top 4 teams like fall into the cracks because it's so competitive.
Right, that's true.
It's not like a year where there's 2 teams who are lightning, way ahead of the rest. So you really only have to deal with like 3 other drivers. It's like you're dealing with there's 8 guys who are going to be in cars that should be fast enough to get pole.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is that if you fuck up, you should never. If you have a bad outing, you should be P8, not P12. because it's those four cars that are
I think that gap is smaller than you think it is. I think like as much as those are the top 4 teams, just the bottom to top is smaller than it.
You don't think that there's a big so in your opinion, you don't think that there's a big gap between Mercedes and Williams or Mercedes and Alpine?
Not like that much in a qualifying. Not that much in the qualifying.
Okay, that's
over a race distance. Yeah. But I think like on a Saturday, I think that
based on setups, based on the track, anything could happen.
Exactly.
All right,
track evolution. We've gotten to our top 2 teams: McLaren, Ferrari.
Okay, so obviously it's Ferrari's number 2, but this driver matchup is where it's interesting.
Oh, you think Ferrari's obviously number 2? You think Ferrari's going to be number 2?
I thought they were going to win the constructors, but now it's just you've read too many positive things are coming out of the McLaren camp in testing. I think that they're the clear favorites. Yeah, and as good as that driver match, as good as that driver lineup is, I just think McLaren's going to be too strong.
Okay, I agree. I thought you were going to go the other way around, but I'm glad we're in alignment. Okay. Ferrari driver matchup, Leclerc, Hamilton, what's happening?
My mind is telling me that Charles Leclerc should win handily.
Okay.
But my body is telling me that there's no fucking way Ferrari lets that happen. That's what my body is telling me. There is no way that they're just going to Leclerc, right this way, sir. Just make us look really stupid for spending $700 billion. That's just not how they operate. They invent. Carlos Sainz has stopped inventing. They like to invent.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be very close. There's just no way they're going to let him fail like that.
Yeah. See, I've been ping-ponging back and forth on this. Because I was feeling like Lewis is focused. He's in there. He's ready to fucking rock. And now my body and my mind are both telling me that Charles Leclerc is going to dominate.
You think they're going to let that happen?
How insidious is this organization? That they're going
the most insidious out of all of them. This is what they do. They anoint a guy. Leclerc got in with Vettel, and they were like, "Ooh, yeah, Vettel."
But was that just Leclerc having the raw pace? I just don't know if I can see Lewis getting over the quali hump.
I just think they always just rally around one guy.
But they have it the last couple of years. Last couple of years, it's been fucking tit for tat. It's been back and forth.
That's true.
Now they weren't paying Carlos Sainz, $700 million, but they were paying Charles Leclerc a hell of a lot more than they were paying Carlos Sainz. And I
don't know. I just feel like there's going to be more meddling from above on this one.
I do think that John Elkann might make a couple calls into Fred Vasseur's office as things go. And there might be a Billy Bean, Philip Seymour Hoffman situation going on where it's like, we traded Leclerc. So you can't, Leclerc's not going to win this race. What do you mean? He drives for Aston Martin now. You traded Leclerc? Might be maybe a situation like that, but I don't know. Here's also what I've been thinking about this situation is that everyone's talking about that Lewis, it's the new engine, it's the new environment, blah blah blah. We had Chris Medlin on the pod, and he was talking about how Carlos Sainz's cousin. He was talking about how Carlos Sainz's cousin was saying that Leclerc's going to get off the thing, and he's going to be able to tell the engineers exactly how he wants the car set up, and they're just going to be able to do it for him because that's what it is. It's and then in retrospect, I'm like, that sounds like she's going to be so unhappy with him. Yeah, it's totally they're totally not going to work out. They're totally not going to be there's no way that she's going to be happy with him. That's a little bit of that energy.
Sour grapes.
I guess sour grapes. Hamilton did, because I'm back and forth on this, because Hamilton came in his rookie year when there was no expectation besides the people that like knew from the inner circle, and he was able to stick with Fernando Alonso. So a part of me does think that if he can access that's one thing, but I don't know, maybe the age is getting to him. And Leclerc is at the peak of his powers.
I think what he hopes to do is he's got to just qualify near him and just beat him with race pace. Beat him
I
with
do trust him to kind of beat him at race pace. I do trust him to eke those out, but I think that Leclerc is going to have such an edge on him when it comes to qualifying that he's going to George Russell him this past year.
Leclerc's got race pace too. It's just I think Leclerc makes more mistakes. He fucks up a little bit more. That's what you are hoping if you're Lewis Hamilton. Like
I do think it's going to be Leclerc,
but apparently, Lewis, he's been the way the Ferrari drives actually agrees with him more. This generation of car in Ferrari's hands agrees with him more. It's a little less stiff, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he ever liked this. I don't think he likes these big stiff cars. I think he'll do better in 2026 when the car's a little bit smaller and more nimble, like he's used to. But I think this year is going to be tough for him. But I don't know. He seems to like the car more than he likes the Ferrari. So who the fuck knows? My gut is telling me Leclerc, but it's not going to be by much. I really don't think they're going to let Leclerc embarrass him.
I don't think he'll embarrass. I don't think Lewis never gets embarrassed by anybody, but I do think that Leclerc is gonna outperform him. Like I think by 15, 20 points.
That's nothing.
But he'll get him.
That's nothing.
But he'll get him. All right. McLaren.
All right. So before we get too deep, I just want to say that is this true? Can we figure this out? Did Drake bet $20 million on Lando Norris?
Did he?
Someone looked that up.
Rumor?
I saw that rumor online. Can we confirm that?
I mean, this post has 105,000 likes. Apparently, Drake has put $20 million on Lando Norris to become the champion. Now, here's the thing. I was like, now I'm feeling, because I'm thinking that Lando Norris is going to win this championship.
But once he had that Drake juju
I'm hanging with Drake,
him,
dude. I'm a Kendrick guy.
Once Drake put that juju on Lando, I was like, it's over. It's not happening. It's impossible. That's the kiss of fucking death. That's the kiss of fucking death. In the final race,
all he has to do is finish the race, and his engine blows out. Curse of Drake.
What are you doing, Drake? The guy's got enough on his head right now. He doesn't need your fucking energy.
Yeah.
I mean, everything Drake is touching right now is turning to shit, correct? Why do we...
Yeah, unless he wins this lawsuit and he makes more money than anyone in the entire history of the music industry.
Yeah. So if I'm Lando Norris, I'm like, God damn it. Do you think that the Raptors are like, awesome, Drake's here?
Yeah, not right now.
Not anymore. Not right now.
Not right now.
So... yeah, this is a tough one. I think Oscar Piastri takes a step.
Yeah.
Big step.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's close. I think Lando has the edge, but I don't think Lando wins the championship. I don't see it. What are you thinking?
What do you think I'm thinking, baby? I think that Lando Norris is going to be the 2025 World Drivers' Championship. I don't care what Drake thinks. I don't care that Drake's putting money on it. I'm putting money on it too. Dude, I think they might be 1-2 this year. I think it might be Lando Norris, Oscar Piastri, Max Verstappen third, dude.
You think they're going to be like 2022 Red Bull?
I don't think they're going to be that good, but I think they're going to dominate this year. I think they're going to start out hot. And then I think they're the team that can put together an upgrade better than anyone else on the fucking grid. And I don't think they're going to be taking that many points off each other in a way that's going to be that damaging to the championship. I think that Lando Norris going to be number 1, Oscar Piastri going to be number 2, Max Verstappen's going to be number 3.
Well, if they're 1 and 2 in every race, it doesn't really matter. They'll
That's
still
what I'm
win.
saying.
One of them will still win. It's just like when it's more intermittent that they're up top and they're taking fucking wins off each other. That's when you don't want it. But
right.
I think well, if that's the case, then I make a new prediction.
Uh-huh.
If we think that McLaren is so far out ahead that Max has no chance,
yeah,
I think he'll swear a couple of times, get suspended, force that issue.
Oh, Max.
That'll be his fight. He goes, you know what? I'm not going to win the championship this year, but I will fuck the FIA. I will just that'll be my thing that I do this year.
Yeah, I could.
That would
totally
be so
see that.
legendary if he was like, well, I can't win, so I might as well just fucking get suspended from a race.
Pivot. Let me pivot over here. Yeah.
I mean, the guy's like already doing side quests. This would be the ultimate side quest.
It's like when you're like you're on the ground, you fall and then you just like punch your friend in the nuts. Just do a fucking quick little like while you're on your way down, he just does a fucking nut tap.
Well, if I can't win, I could make sure the FIA loses.
Totally. And I think
I don't think there's anything more dangerous than Max Verstappen in like 4th place.
It's true. It's so true. I would love to see it.
Dangerous place to put him.
I would love to see that.
Yes.
Now, obviously,
he
this
is
is a bit of wishful thinking, but yeah, I think I don't know, dude. I was worried because Dano's doing like he's doing a million fucking interviews, and in every interview they're like, "So you didn't win it last year? Like, what do you think?" And he's like having to answer that question again and again and again and again and again. But then I don't know. They're coming out of fucking testing, and they're like, "Yeah, Lando's like showing really that his pace is really strong," and I think it's time. I think this is the year. I don't think 26.
You're like
they're coming
Rafiki
in
from Lion King. It is time, or whatever it is.
Across his Belgian British little brow, dude. That was beautiful.
Yeah. I was getting chills remembering when Simba goes up the rock.
Yeah.
All dignified and shit.
I think it's his year, dude.
I'm picking Max Verstappen.
It's a smart pick. It's not a dumb pick.
How do you bet against that guy at this point?
I just think that Ferrari and McLaren are going to be ahead of Red Bull. I just think that there's too much there. I think there's going to be too much in between him and race wins. And then on the cold weather days where Kimi Antonelli gets a win, I just think there's going to be too much in the way.
I just
mean, you're totally fine to not agree. But, I can't have it be the year where Lando actually does win it, and I've chosen Max. Come on.
I think
Patrick Mahomes lost. Patrick Mahomes, the best quarterback. He's the next Brady. Joe Montana, sit the fuck down. And then you have an Eagles team that's just next level.
Mm-hmm.
The front seven, winning in the trenches, best wide receiver in the game, best running back in the game. Jalen Hurts, clutch, just doesn't fuck it up, has a great performance. I think that this McLaren outfit 2025 is going to be too much. That's what I think. I might be wrong.
The question is, can Max win? Like, what is the worst car Max can win with? Have we seen that yet?
Right.
That's the new thing. What is the worst car he can win with? 2021, he sometimes had the best car, sometimes didn't.
But there was no one else around. There was no one else around. It was
That's
two.
True.
It was a 2-man race. This is like a 6-man race. And I think
which is why I think when it's a 6-man race, I think that favors him.
I think it might backfire because I think that there's going to be these guys are fucking. There's going to be too many people in between them, and I also think it might be an aggregate. I think that Max might have the most wins this year But I think that even on the bad day, McLaren's still going to be getting podiums. And when Max has a bad day,
how many wins does Lando get?
I think Lando gets 5 wins.
See, I think Max gets 4 or 5 wins too.
And I think Lando has more podiums.
Solid finishes, more podiums.
Yeah, I think that car is going to be, a professor type year. It's going to be an Alain Prost type year.
That's definitely what I think of when I think of Lando Norris. I think this guy is Alain Prost.
The professor.
No, but if you tell him, I think, by the way, I think you're right. I think if Lando's like, you mean I just have to finish P2?
Amazing place
I
for him
got
to
that.
finish. That's better for him than I need to win races. Fuck that. Just put together solid performances. Get podium. Win here, win there. I think he wins the championship. It's okay to not agree. I'm a Lando fanboy. I just think it's his year.
Okay. I just need to see him. I could change my mind, but right now, the fucking guy hasn't delivered yet.
I hear you. That's 100% fair, baby. But when Lando's winning that championship this year, baby, I'm gonna be dancing. I'll be dancing come December.
Okay. How do you think it's close?
I think it's close, but I think he doesn't. I don't think it goes down to Abu Dhabi. I think he wins. I think he seals it before then. I think he seals it the race.
And you think Oscar is how far behind him, and Max is how far behind him?
Not that far. I mean, 20, 30 points.
Okay.
Come on, Lando! Fucking do this shit!
I just want it to be close. I just want it to be close.
I do too.
That's all I want.
I think it will be. How many wins does Lewis Hamilton get versus Charles Leclerc?
I think Charles gets 3 and Lewis gets 2, maybe 1. But I think maybe Lewis puts together a more consistent campaign. That's what I think.
Who wins in Monza?
Leclerc. Between the two of them, or in general?
Yeah, but I'm like, does Ferrari win that race? I think they maybe win that race.
Yeah, they like to win there. They're very focused on that race.
You think Leclerc?
Yeah.
I think that'll be I think Lewis wins there, and it's like his kind of yeah, Leclerc beat me this year, but I won in Monza.
All
right. Those are our predictions. Uninformed, vibes only, gut in check. Let us know what you think you're thinking. Let us know if you think we're right, where we're wrong. Also, if you're watching this and you're this deep in, subscribe to the podcast. We got so much coming for you this year. It's going to be an epic and amazing season. Until next time.
Goodbye, Vankahs.
Lando Norris, WDC 2025. Goodbye, Vankahs.